Upon waking up, Qin Che realized that he had become the only son of Prince Yan of the Great Zhou Dynasty. Not only does the family have a throne to inherit, but even the throne is waving at them. Although I was born with shortcomings, the current emperor wanted to die on my own, the prime minister wanted to die on my own, and even my older sister, who had grown up playing since childhood, wanted to die on her own. But besides his good father, Qin Che also has a martial arts panel that can be added with some points. As long as the cultivation level is improved, the potential points can be infinitely stacked. I can easily pass breathing techniques that others cannot break through. Even if I lose everything, I can become a saint through martial arts. Keywords of the novel. Martial art becomes holy. Starting from the royal forbidden area without pop-ups, martial art becomes holy. Starting from the royal forbidden area. Download the full text. Martial art becomes holy. Starting from the royal forbidden area. Latest chapter reading. Chapter 1. Royal Forbidden Area, Potential Points. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 1 Royal Forbidden Area, Potential Points. Great Zhou Dynasty, Imperial Forbidden Area, Dadacian. 5-colored soil is not made of 5 colors dyed with ordinary pigments, but is infected by 5 very rare spiritual creatures. 1 or 2 5-colored soil, 1,000 taels of gold, and here there are at least a few hundred pounds, which is several million taels of gold. The net income from the national treasury of the Zhou dynasty, excluding all expenses, was only a few million taels of gold per year. Even when the emperor offered sacrifices to heaven, he dared not be so extravagant. Above the 5-colored soil, a handsome young man with a thin figure and a pale face was breathing calmly. As he breathed, the spirituality contained in the 5-colored soil trickled into the boy's lungs. At this moment, looking inside, the 5 organs and 6 viscera in the young man's body are all covered with a gray and white aura. Spiritual gas enters the lungs, causing a grayish-white mist that dries up like a dried grapefruit peel, making them slightly brighter. Name: Qin Che. Age: 17/18 cultivation. Beginner level of inner Zhuang realm, 99%. Cultivation method. 5 elements breathing method potential point. 1 point. Qin Che looked in front of him, reaching a 99% level, and finally breathed a sigh of relief. It has been 3 months since crossing over, and Qin Che has been walking upstream on the edge of life and death. Zhang Jing, known as the contemporary medical saint and the leader of the Thai hospital, claimed that Qin Che was saddened by his innate deficiency, with all his internal organs dead and silent. Fortunately, Qin Che had a good father, Prince Yan of the Zhou dynasty, who is currently the younger brother of His Majesty. He is most likely to succeed his elder brother as the pillar of the Zhou kingdom. You should know that Qin Che is currently located in a royal forbidden area, which was once the place where Emperor Taizu of the Great Zhou practiced. Don't even think about outsiders coming in or getting close. The 5 elements breathing technique practiced by oneself is also the core secret of the royal family, claiming to be the only internal mental technique in the world. Emperor Taizu of the Great Zhou rose up in rebellion and occupied the world. Even within the royal family, not everyone can have access to it. The 5-colored earthen platform where one sits down is even more precious. But even with so many innate advantages, Qin Che still finds it extremely difficult to enter the beginner level of the 5 elements breathing technique. In this world, demons are scattered throughout the wilderness, and the human race relies on cultivation to establish themselves in the world. Monks, Taoism, Buddhism, and martial arts each have their own paths. But generally speaking, it's either from the outside to the inside or from the inside out. Among them, going from the inside out is widely recognized as the most difficult way in the world. From the inside out, it depends on time accumulation, as well as talent and luck. Many people spend their entire lives without the means to learn. However, Qin Che, due to his innate shortcomings, could only take a route from the inside out in order to continue his longevity. What is now in front of Qin Che is the difficulty of getting started, a challenge that can defeat 99% of cultivators. Taking a glance at the 99% progress, Qin Che silently added a little potential point. After adding a little bit of potential, the number went directly from 99% to 100%. At this moment, Qin Che felt a noticeable change in his lungs. The lungs instantly burst into golden light, and countless vitality emerged from them. At this moment, all alveoli are activated. With the operation of the martial arts, Qin Che's lungs rapidly compressed and expanded, at least 10 times faster than before. 10 times the speed means that the intake air is 10 times more than before. It can be clearly seen from the outside that with Qin Che's inhalation, a clear spiral airflow entered Qin Che's nose. The airflow enters the lungs, and with the operation of the technique, it eliminates the impurities while retaining the essence. The essence of the 5-colored soil, which is nearly 10 times more than the original, remains in the lungs. These enter into each alveoli, making them more resilient and able to inhale or store more vital energy. The useless impurities, with Qin Che's breath, directly turned into a 2 to 3 meter arrow of qi. Such changes have significantly increased the endurance of Qin Che's cultivation. Previously, due to innate deficiencies, even for cultivation, Qin Che could only hold on to 1 cup of tea per day at most, resulting in weak physical strength. But even if you practice continuously for 2 hours now, there won't be any physical weakness. Longer cultivation means that Qin Che can break through his cultivation more quickly. Feeling the changes in his body, Qin Che opened his attribute panel. Name: Qin Che. Age: 1721st cultivation. Inner Zhuang realm level 1, 1%. Cultivation method: 5 elements breathing method potential point. 3 points. Looking at the changes on the attribute panel, Qin Che couldn't help but be pleasantly surprised. Indeed, the potential points can increase with the breakthrough of cultivation. And the increased quantity seems to correspond to my longevity. In this way, as long as I continuously break through my cultivation and increase my longevity, my potential points can continue to increase. So as long as I keep breaking through, my potential points can continue to increase infinitely, and the increase in potential points means that I can consider all cultivation levels as nothing. Thinking of the massive potential points, Qin Che's heart immediately became hot. However, Qin Che quickly suppressed the heat in his heart, and now is not the time to think so far away. What Qin Che needs to do now is to break through as soon as possible. At the age of 21, it is still not a safe lifespan. Moreover, the 3 potential points are not a number that Qin Che can freely squander. Suppressing his restlessness, Qin Che continued to focus all his attention on cultivation. As time passed, Qin Che's perception of the 5 elements breathing method became increasingly profound. Due to his own reasons, Qin Che has some understanding of various internal breathing techniques. The reason why the 5 elements breathing method can be recognized as a unique existence is not an exaggeration. The 5 elements breathing method uses the 5 elements as its source to refine the 5 internal organs that embody the attributes of the 5 elements. This kind of tempering is not simply about strengthening, but about activating and developing potential at a deeper level. Otherwise, given Qin Che's innate shortcomings, ordinary internal mental techniques can at most help Qin Che live to 18 without illness or pain. Only the 5 elements breathing technique can help Qin Che prolong his life. In the past, Qin Che's feelings were not deep, but when he truly broke through, Qin Che had the most genuine feelings. The 5 elements breathing method starts from the lungs, and then follows the principle of the 5 elements generating each other, from the lungs and kidneys, and then to the liver, heart, and spleen. Ultimately, a large cycle of mutual growth is formed in the 5 elements, where each practice enhances the 5 internal organs simultaneously. This is far incomparable to other breathing methods. Although other breathing methods may also target the 5 internal organs, they generally require a single practice, which is highly likely to lead to imbalances. At the same time, the 5 elements breathing method continuously enhances the overall potential of the body, while other breathing methods have limitations. Of course, although the benefits of the 5 elements breathing method are many, the difficulty is also truly difficult. Every breakthrough in each layer must be accompanied by various precious resources. Fortunately, Qin Che has a good father, and resources do not require Qin Che to worry at all. After practicing continuously for 2 more hours, Qin Che's cultivation progress increased from 1% to 3%. At this speed, it can be as short as 1 month or as long as 2 months, and then I can impact the second layer. Although breaking through a small realm is as difficult as reaching the sky, I have potential points, just add more points. After finishing his cultivation, Qin Che walked down the mountain. Originally, it took Qin Che over an hour to climb up and down this rugged mountain road. This time Qin Che was just a cup of tea and arrived at the foot of the mountain. At the foot of the mountain, there was only one maid dressed in emerald green clothes, LVE, waiting for Qin Che. Although Qin Che has a prestigious status, this is a forbidden area for the royal family and also a place for Emperor Taizu to practice martial arts and enlightenment. Therefore, some rules are still not too strict to be crossed. It is an exception to have Qin Che bring a maid in to take care of her. As for security issues, 3 battalions of soldiers and horses were deployed on the periphery, with even master-level experts stationed. At the same time, Qin Che's father, Prince Yan, left many experts on the periphery to protect Qin Che's safety. It is not an exaggeration to say that the walls are made of copper and iron. Let's go. Qin Che gave a command to the maid and walked ahead first. After walking for a while, Qin Che heard Green E panting behind her and quickly slowed down her pace. It's not that Qin Che sympathizes with his subordinates, but something that Qin Che doesn't want to break through too quickly and be known to others. Green E is reliable, but who knows if there are other eyes staring at her here. Besides, my father still holds such a high position and power. Returning to his residence all the way, a faint fragrance immediately penetrated his nose. This is a very unique fragrance that brings peace of mind and is beneficial for cultivation. Just this time, when the fragrance entered the nose, it did not disappear after a single revolution in the body. This time, the fragrance entered Qin Che's newly opened lungs. The fragrance circulated in the lungs for a week, and Qin Che's eyebrows couldn't help but furrow slightly. Toxic. End of this chapter. Chapter 2. Fengwang. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 2. Fengwang. The poison in spices is nothing to Qin Che, who has already developed a strong inner layer. It only circulates in the lungs for a week and naturally disappears completely. However, for Qin Che, whose body was inherently deficient before breakthrough, the accumulation of this poison over time is truly fatal. Previously, Qin Che thought that the original master died from overwork due to too much hard cultivation, but now it seems that this is not the case. Who sent this incense? Qin Che casually asked Green E behind her. LVE respectfully replied, "It's Princess Liju." Upon hearing the servant girl's words, Qin Che's mind suddenly conjured up an image of a stunning and charming beauty with a cool and heartless demeanor. It was sent by her. Qin Che's heart was lost in thought. Princess Liju is a daughter adopted by her father. Although she was adopted, Prince Yan has always regarded her as his own and even won her a princess title that many women in the royal bloodline cannot obtain. Of course, Princess Liju also made every effort to assist Prince Yan, making her one of the top master-level experts in the Great Flame Dynasty. And in my memory, Liju has been serving as Qin Che's guardian since entering the palace. The original owner was weak and sickly, coupled with Prince Yan constantly guarding the border. So although Qin Che had a prominent status, he was often bullied. Whenever bullied, it was Li Zhu who stood up for Qin Che and beat the descendants of those nobles into pig heads. Even if you're afraid of getting hurt, you have to protect Qin Che. So knowing that she poisoned the original owner, Qin Che really didn't understand. However, Qin Che did not intend to delve deeper. No matter what the reason is, there is no need to delve deeper into it now. What Qin Che needs to do now is to constantly improve his strength. The strength has become stronger, and any conspiracies and schemes will only end up being something that can be easily broken. Does the young prince not like this fragrance? Green E called out to Qin Che, who was lost in thought. No, I think it's pretty good. You go prepare lunch, Qin Che said to Green E, changing the subject. Upon hearing Qin Che's words, Lve softly reminded her, "Little prince, Duke Lu in the palace is already waiting outside the forbidden area. He needs to confirm with the little prince about the coronation ceremony." The coronation ceremony. Qin Che was stunned for a moment, and soon remembered what was going on. But the emperor's brothers are truly blessed with many sons. Except for his father Prince Yan, he is the only son, and the remaining princes have 5 or 6 sons. Among the generation of Qin Che was the first to be granted the title of king, which is definitely a great honor. Even those who are much older than Qin Che have not yet been crowned as kings. Then let's meet Duke Lu first. After all, with all his kindness, Qin Che really doesn't want to leave people outside. Green E led Qin Che all the way outside the forbidden area. Outside the forbidden area, the two of them had already been waiting outside. Lu Gonggang. Qin Che has memories. Although he doesn't know the people behind him, his identity is self-evident as he looks at him wearing the official uniform of the Imperial Medical Office. Is it because I'm worried that I won't live to be crowned king, and I will bring the imperial physician with me? Qin Che could not help roast. Our family pays our respects to the young prince. When Lu Gonggang saw Qin Che, he immediately warmly greeted him. Qin Che nodded and said, "Thank you, Grandpa, for waiting outside for so long." The young prince said what was said there, and this is what the old slave should do. Lu Gonggang quickly responded respectfully. After a pause, Lu Gonggang took the initiative and said, "I have nothing else to do this time. Apart from verifying the process, it's just that your title has been established, little prince. Your Majesty has designated the character, Zhe, for the young prince, taking the profound meaning of fuse. Your Majesty wants the old servant to ask the young prince if he is satisfied. One character king. What character Qin Che doesn't care about, mainly because this is a one-character king. In the throne, one character is the most revered. But this made Qin Che have to think a little more. Even if I have a prominent position and outstanding military achievements, I cannot be so arrogant. I used to be very hated within the royal family, but now I am even more direct as a king. This is like adding fuel to the fire. In such a situation, either you are very, very certain that you won't live long, give yourself a one-word king, let yourself die happily, and comfort yourself. Either continue to push oneself and one's own son towards the opposite of the royal family, and not allow one's own son to ascend the throne too early. He is definitely unwilling to be forced to abdicate. It is advantageous for him to push himself against everyone in this way. Of course, it is also possible that both are present, that is, one is certain that one will die while not wanting to let their father ascend to the throne as a treasure. What Lu Gonggang said, Qin Che didn't even listen, and Lu Gonggang also noticed that Qin Che didn't listen. Anyway, just talk about this matter. When it comes to enfeoffment, someone will take care of it. Thank you, Grandpa Lu. Grandpa Lu also knows my physical condition. If there's nothing else, I want to go back and rest first. Qin Che deliberately coughed twice after finishing speaking. Upon seeing the situation, Duke Lu hurriedly said, "Young prince, rest well. Before being crowned as the king, the old servant will bring the honor guard of the young prince's coronation." Qin Che nodded and then turned around and walked back. After Qin Che walked away, Lu Gonggang left with the imperial physician behind him. How about it? Returning to the frame, Lu Gonggong asked the imperial physician. From his expression, it seems that there has been a slight improvement. The words changed and the doctor continued, after all, after practicing for so long and consuming so many resources, some improvement is actually normal. But it is impossible to break through, and there is no one who can break through in the 5 elements breathing method, for those who are physically healthy, let alone Qin Che, who is inherently deficient. Lu Gonggong nodded and said, today's events cannot be disclosed to outsiders. Yes, the imperial physician quickly responded. In the following time, Qin Che did not dwell on the matter of enfeoffment, nor did he dwell on the matter of poisoning. Anyway, these toxins no longer need to worry about themselves. On the contrary, their calming effect can make Qin Che fully devote himself to cultivation every day. As for the matter of enfeoffment, it has nothing to do with oneself, only strength is one's own. As the saying goes, once our strength becomes stronger, any conspiracy will be just a matter of the blink of an eye. In a blink of an eye, another month has passed, and there are still 2 months left until Qin Che is 18 years old. At the same time, under the polishing of this month, Qin Che's cultivation has once again reached the level of a small realm. Name: Qin Che. Age: 1721st cultivation. Inner Zhuang realm level 1, 99%. Cultivation method: 5 elements breathing method. Potential point: 3 points. Although Qin Che's cultivation level is still relatively strong, there is a significant difference between 99% and 1%. At this moment, Qin Che's lungs have been fully developed. All the alveoli have become incredibly resilient. Even if each alveoli expands tenfold, there will be no problem. The most obvious increase in qi is the increase in strength. In the past, when Qin Che said that he had no strength to bind a chicken, it could be considered a compliment. And now Qin Che, with one hand, is capable of rotating a 100-pound stone lock. Now let's not talk about binding chickens. Even in the face of a fierce tiger, Qin Che has confidence in subduing the tiger. Sitting upright on the 5-colored terrace, the colors of the 5-colored terrace were already very dim, and many places had turned gray and white. However, what Qin Che needs to activate next is his own kidney, and the 5-colored soil is no longer needed. The 5 elements breathing method utilizes the way the 5 elements complement each other to activate the 5 organs and 6 internal organs. The lungs belong to gold, and the earth produces gold, so using 5-colored soil is the best auxiliary for the first layer. And next, using the gold of the lungs, combined with the qi of the golden essence, can perfectly repair Qin Che's kidneys. The spirit of gold essence is the gold marrow of the deepest essence of the mineral vein, and the energy volatilized. And not every vein has the presence of gold marrow. It is generally good to have gold marrow in one of the 10 mineral veins. The value of gold marrow naturally lies above the 5-colored soil. A gold pulp of the thickness and size of an index finger is worth 100,000 gold. The amount of gold pulp flowing inside the transparent bottle in front of Qin Che is about 10 fingers thick. These are all Qin Che's father kings, and Prince Yan has long prepared them for Qin Che. The biggest advantage of having such a good father is that you don't have to worry about the issue of cultivation resources. Just hold on to your temper and focus on practicing. Adjust your breathing well. Qin Che closed his eyes and activated the 5 elements breathing method. The reason why Qin Che did not choose to break through at 97% is mainly because there are too few potential points now, and it cannot be too luxurious. Added some potential points to 99%, directly increasing from 99% to 100%. At the moment of advancing, Qin Che's lungs also rapidly stirred, with a frequency similar to that of a high-power fan. The massive spiritual energy in the 5-colored soil entered Qin Che's lungs. With the entry of such spiritual energy, the 5-colored soil quickly turned gray-white. Such a massive amount of spiritual energy entered, causing Qin Che's lungs to burst out with dazzling golden light. According to the cultivation records of the 5 elements breathing method, this moment is a symbol of the first level of inner strength, which is full and full. However, at this stage, too many people are unable to find the accurate meridians leading to the kidneys. In cases where it is not found, either the scattered energy cultivation regresses or there is a forced impact. If there is a forced impact, it is likely to cause serious lung damage, and the loss of longevity is mild. Many people die tragically on the spot. Even for those who have found a channel, 90% of them may not necessarily be the best channel to find. However, with Qin Che's potential to help, there is no problem of not being able to find a channel, let alone the problem of channels not being the best. When the potential points are added, the channel has already been revealed. The accumulated golden energy in the lungs quickly enters the kidneys along the best and shortest route, which can pass through the muscles with the highest amount of energy. As the golden energy entered his kidneys, Qin Che's kidneys emitted a faint blue glow. Seeing this, Qin Che took advantage of the heat and opened the bottle containing the golden marrow. The golden marrow evaporated and turned into a golden gas. All those gases were sucked into Qin Che's lungs, and then continued to be infused into his kidneys through the channel. The blue light of both kidneys became increasingly bright, and finally it was completely illuminated. Under this bright blue light, it feels as if there is turbulent seawater hidden. After an instant of brightness, the radiance of both kidneys began to gradually fade and eventually turned into calmness. The kidney belongs to water, stores essence, and is the foundation of innate constitution, responsible for the bones and brain marrow of the whole body. The complete recovery of both kidneys directly laid a solid foundation for Qin Che's subsequent bone calcination. Calcination of bones is a future event, and the biggest change that has occurred in Qin Che's body now is the change in his essence. This essence is not just referring to a reproductive cell, but also includes energy and spirit. Simply put, it is Qin Che's endurance and endurance. Endurance goes without saying, the key is this endurance. Persistence refers to the length of time that one can fully devote oneself within the same amount of time. When it comes to cultivation, it means that everyone spends the same amount of time practicing, but within the same amount of time, because I have more energy and spirit, I can maintain my peak cultivation state for a longer time. Qin Che is now able to ensure that his cultivation for 2 hours is at the peak of his spiritual state. End of this chapter. Chapter 3. Southwest Changes. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 3 Southwest Changes. Name. Qin Che Age. 1725 Cultivation. Inner Zhuang Realm Level 2, 19%. Cultivation Method. 5 Elements Breathing Method Potential Point. 6 points. With the comprehensive recovery of his kidneys, Qin Che can still practice for 2 hours a day. But the efficiency of cultivation has increased by more than twice compared to before the recovery of the kidneys. Qin Che can maintain efficient focus for 2 hours. When Qin Che is 1 level stronger, he can increase by up to 2 percentage points in a day. But now Qin Che can increase by 4 percentage points in a day. You should know that the cultivation difficulty of the second level of Nizhuang is more than twice that of the first level of Nizhuang. Under such difficulty, maintaining such a level of improvement shows how significant the role of kidney recovery is. At this speed, in another 20 days, I will be ready for the next breakthrough. The main focus of the 3 layers of internal strength is on the liver, which belongs to wood and is waterborne wood. Using kidney water, combined with Qingwei Shinshui, should be no problem. If everything goes smoothly, I should be able to reach the 4th level of the inner Zhuang realm before I turn 18. According to the classification of this world, having 4 levels of internal strength can already be considered a second-rate expert. A person with 5 layers of natural gas circulation can be called a first-class expert. Once the muscles, bones, and skin are refined and the true qi is released, one can be called a master. Having restrained her thoughts, Qin Che slowly walked to the foot of the mountain, where Green Yi had been waiting. Seeing Qin Che come down, Green Yi quickly stepped forward to serve. Little prince, just now there was a message coming in from outside, and there was a message coming from the palace. Green E hesitated for a moment and continued, Little prince, the ceremonial guard for your title to the king is not ready yet. It may take some time to delay the delivery. Qin Che couldn't help but furrow his brow after listening to Lve's words. In the end, Qin Che didn't ask anything, but said, I understand. Is the ceremonial guard not properly prepared? This excuse is really a bit terrible. Even Green E knows it's a terrible excuse, and the person who made up this excuse is a bit irresponsible. The decision to crown oneself as a king was made a long time ago. The ceremonial guards must have been prepared long ago. There is only one possibility of using such a bad excuse now, which is that there may have been a major incident on Prince Yen's side. Prince Yen guarded the southwestern border of the Great Zhou Dynasty, which borders 7 or 8 small countries. The interplay of forces is very complex, with not only countries but also various ghosts, snakes, and gods mixed together, and wars and turmoil continue year after year. De Zhou was even more unbearable, and even 30 years ago, major forces from the southwest border united and fought all the way to the hinterland of De Zhou, almost overthrowing him. Prince Yen emerged at this time, crushing and killing them all the way back to the southwest before finally giving up. Then Prince Yen ruled in the southwest for 30 years, and the southwestern part of the Great Zhou Dynasty was pacified for 30 years. The title of Prince Yen as the pillar of the country was also derived in this way. Qin Che was born 12 years after Prince Yen was stationed in the southwest. However, he was born with congenital deficiencies and later sent to the capital to be raised. At the age of 14, he was sent to Dadao Mountain for cultivation. There are no more than 3 reasons for finding such a terrible excuse now. Firstly, Prince Yen defected to the enemy. However, this is clearly impossible. Prince Yen cannot hold on to the throne he has obtained and insists on surrendering to the enemy. Secondly, there were too many opposing voices in the court. In order to balance the situation, the emperor planned to delay the coronation for a period of time to quell the opposition. However, the possibility of this is obviously not high. As long as Prince Yen does not fall, the emperor will only treat those opposing voices as inaudible. So the only reason for such a bad excuse is the third one. Prince Yen was defeated in battle, and it was a great defeat. At the same time, Prince Yen himself may also be injured quite lightly, and his life or death is uncertain. Only in such circumstances will one's own canonization be delayed. After a quick analysis in his heart, Qin Che also had a solution in his mind. Although the third possibility is very high, it may take several months to fully determine. Even if someone wants to touch me, they must thoroughly determine the situation of Prince Yen before they dare to take action. I still have plenty of time. In fact, the situation is not much different from Qin Che's own analysis. There was indeed a problem with the southwestern border. Suddenly, 10 master-level experts gathered in the southwest and launched a surprise attack on the Yen prince's mansion. At the cost of paying 5 masters, Prince Yen was severely injured. The severely injured Prince Yen was taken away by Princess Liju and his whereabouts are still unknown. In 5 days, 6 of the 12 military towns in the southwest were defeated. If it weren't for the timely arrival of reinforcements, the southwest 12 army towns would probably have been completely destroyed. Now the whole southwest is in chaos, and coupled with Prince Yen not appearing yet, it is even more chaotic. This kind of thing, when it reached the previous dynasty, naturally the matter of Qin Che's enfeoffment as king would be postponed. On the one hand, it is natural because the front line has suffered a major defeat, which is not suitable for the royal celebration. On the other hand, it is natural that the whereabouts of Prince Yen are unknown, and the matter of Qin Che's enfeoffment as king is naturally full of uncertainty. If Prince Yen did not die but was seriously injured, then Qin Che is likely to continue to be crowned as the king. If Prince Yen dies, will Qin Che be granted the title of king? That's really another story. After all, politics has always been the most complex and mysterious thing since ancient times. The strong winds and heavy rain outside had no impact on Qin Che, but he continued to push forward his cultivation step by step. For Prince Yan, it is difficult for Qin Che to say what kind of emotion it is. After all, it is quite difficult to accept that he has suddenly had multiple fathers while traveling. Even if this father is very powerful, it is quite difficult for Qin Che to accept. If Prince Yan really died in battle, it would be difficult for Qin Che to be sad, but there is a high probability that Qin Che will seek revenge for Prince Yan when his cultivation is complete. Without the relationship with Prince Yan, Qin Che would not have such abundant cultivation resources. At this point, Qin Che should be grateful to Prince Yan. It's really difficult for Qin Che to bring up more emotions. The suspension of the enfeoffment of the king at the same time was actually a good thing for Qin Che. The matter of enfeoffment cannot be completed in a day. According to Qin Che's understanding, the entire process of enfeoffment takes at least 10.5 days. This is really delaying Qin Che's cultivation time. Qin Che's time is too precious now. There are several months left now, and it is not impossible for Qin Che to reach the 5th level of internal strength and even further reach the level of a master with his potential points. When it comes to Grandmaster, someone is coming to deal with him. Qin Che can go to a different place and continue his cultivation. If it's not necessary to take risks, it's better not to try. Qin Che was not sure if he could receive such treatment after dying again. End of this chapter. Chapter 4. Inner Strengthening with 5 Layers, Grandmaster's Realm. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 4. Inner Strengthening with 5 Layers, Grandmaster's Realm. Having made up his mind, Qin Che stopped thinking about anything else. Put all your thoughts on cultivation. In a blink of an eye, another 2 months had passed, and by this time Qin Che had already strengthened the 4th floor by 99%, only 1 step away from the 5th floor. At the same time, Qin Che officially celebrated his 18th birthday. Normally, Qin Che should have been appointed as the Prince of Zhe County at this moment, but because the situation in the southwest is unclear, the matter has been stranded here. However, none of these had any impact on Qin Che, and instead gave him more time to practice. Name: Qin Che. Age: 1830s. Cultivation: Inner Zhuang Realm Level 4, 99%. Cultivation Method: 5 Elements Breathing Method. Potential Point: 9 points. After checking his attribute panel, Qin Che shifted his focus back to his body. At this moment, except for the spleen area, the body is still a gray and hazy area. In other places, everything has returned to normal. With the operation of Qin Che's technique, the lungs emitted a faint golden color, which enlarged as the lungs expanded. The kidneys are presented with a light blue water color, and the sound of rushing streams colliding seems to be emanating from the operation of the technique. The liver appears blue-green, with a green glow flowing with the technique, as if there is a huge forest hidden within it. At the heart, there is a fiery red flame color, accompanied by the powerful beating of the heart, and the flame also jumps vigorously. Only the last spleen is left. Taking a glance at the fiery red jade bottle in his hand, Qin Che opened the cork. Suddenly, an unstoppable heat surged out of the bottle. This scorching heat quickly evaporated the surrounding air, even making a loud sound. The bottle contains the flame spirit, taken from the spiritual magma at the deepest point of the volcano. Value, like 5-colored soil, is hard to find. Without hesitation, Qin Che directly poured the flame spirit from the bottle into his mouth. At the entrance of the flame spirit, an unimaginable heat instantly burned Qin Che's clothes clean. The grass and trees on which Qin Che sat suddenly withered and carbonized. This kind of heat wave made Qin Che feel as if he was also about to be burned down. Added some potential points. Suddenly, all the inflammatory spirits in the body entered the heart with the cultivation techniques. Then, with the beating of the heart, those inflammatory spirits entered the bloodstream. This made the blood inside Qin Che's body suddenly become as hot as magma. Hot blood, along with the blood vessels, enters various parts of the body. Accompanied by the scorching blood, Qin Che's body turned hot and red. Within the spleen, as magma-like blood enters, gray rapidly disintegrates. The earthy yellow color representing the spleen gradually seeped out. When the earthy yellow color completely filled the entire spleen, Qin Che's body immediately formed an indescribable whirlwind. This whirlwind successfully connected the 5 organs, creating an automatic cycle of mutual growth between them. This state of mutual growth is constantly circulating. Even if Qin Che doesn't deliberately practice, his internal strength will continue to grow, and his 5 internal organs will be refined every moment. The only difference is efficiency. Focusing on cultivation naturally leads to efficiency that is dozens of times faster than self-cultivation within the body. However, even if the speed is slightly slower, it is already enough to go against the sky. You should know that Qin Che has never heard of any internal mental skill that can be practiced on his own. Even if his efficiency is slow, Qin Che spends at least twice as much time practicing every day as others. After practicing for 3 more hours, Qin Che immediately stopped when his energy was not at its peak. Not continuing to practice at the peak is just a waste of time. Besides, even if you stop now, your body's techniques are slowly running. Name: Qin Che. Age: 1845. Cultivation: Inner Zhuang Realm Level 5, 20%. Cultivation Method: 5 elements breathing method. Potential point: 23 points. Shou Yuan unexpectedly increased by 15 years at once. Qin Che couldn't help but be surprised as he looked at the increased longevity yuan. In the first few layers, Qin Che's lifespan is usually only increased by 3 to 4 years. Now that it has suddenly increased by 15 years, Qin Che is still somewhat surprised. It seems that the fundamental reason for the innate deficiency has been resolved, which is why the longevity yuan has increased so much. As for the issue of physical weakness, it is much easier to solve. I don't have the method for calcining the body next. However, this matter is not urgent. I have already passed the most difficult internal cultivation, and the next step of forging the body will be much easier. It's just about wasting more resources. Just as Qin Che was about to get up after thinking about these things, he suddenly saw a layer of black mucus sticking to his skin. These are all impurities excreted from my body. Qin Che only made a brief judgment and understood what was going on. Looking back at the spring on the mountaintop, Qin Che stepped directly into the spring and washed away any impurities from his body. After washing away the impurities, Qin Che glanced at his skin and found that there seemed to be some changes in the texture of his skin. The texture of one's own skin seems to have become more delicate and resilient. This is. Staring at his own skin for a while, Qin Che couldn't help but burst into joyful laughter. It turns out that the magic of these 5 elements breathing techniques goes far beyond the simplicity of the inner gate heart technique. When the mind method reaches the point of penetrating the 5 internal organs, the 5 element strength is the best energy for forging the body. Then Qin Che thought of the explanation of the relationship between the 5 organs and the body above the breathing method. For example, the liver belongs to wood and is responsible for regulating the flow of qi throughout the body, as well as maintaining the activity of joint ligaments. Joint ligaments are tendons, which are naturally refined during liver repair. And the kidney is also responsible for bone formation, and repairing the kidney is also known as calcining bones. Repairing the lungs corresponds to calcining meat. Repairing the spleen corresponds to the fascia of the entire body. Repairing the heart corresponds to the entire body's skin. Just as I used the flame spirit, my skin was also tempered. In this way, I don't have to look for any more ways to forge my body. This breathing technique is the best way to forge my body. But soon Qin Che thought of another problem. There was no progress in calcination on the panel. After thinking for a while, Qin Che understood the reason behind it. The reason why there is no progress in calcination on attributes is probably because the correct way to promote in this world is to start from internal skill cultivation and then from the inside out. The calcination body should only be an external manifestation of the peak of the 5 layers of internal strength. It's just that practicing internal skills is too difficult, so some people have developed a path of first forging the body from the outside to the inside in order to achieve quick success or for some other reasons. Of course, I want to verify my guess, which is actually very simple. Qin Che has added some potential points to the current progress of the 5th level of internal strength. Sure enough, after adding the potential points, Qin Che once again clearly felt some subtle changes in his body. As expected, this is the true path of cultivation. But in this way, the speed of cultivation may slow down. After all, while cultivating, the body is also undergoing calcination. It seems that the auxiliary liquid for calcination cannot be lacking. Getting up from the spring water, Qin Che changed into the clean clothes he had prepared early on, and glanced at the 9 stone locks placed on the mountaintop. These stone locks are all made of Xianche. Although they may not be large in size, their weight is astonishing. The largest stone lock, the size of a bucket, although only half a meter high, is about 30 centimeters thick. But the weight of this stone lock is about 1,000 pounds. Qin Che approached the 1,000-pound stone lock and clasped one hand in the position of the handle. With a fierce force, Qin Che lifted the entire stone lock. After trying to shake it a few times, Qin Che finally swung the 1,000-pound stone lock. Although not fast, it has an astonishing momentum. The sound of breaking through the air is even more chilling to hear. Bang! Throwing the stone lock onto the ground caused the ground to crack. My arm strength should have surpassed that of a first-class expert and reached the realm of a master, Qin Che muttered softly, recalling some of the standard boundaries of this world. End of this chapter. Chapter 5. Finger Flick. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 5. Finger Flick. The power at the level of a master finally made Qin Che feel more at ease. After all, master-level experts, even in the extraordinary power of Dezhou, are already rare and rare. It is completely possible to dominate a state, establish a sect, and enjoy half of the state's tax support. Not to mention master-level experts, even top-notch experts are people that only top-level elites can access. A first-class expert joining the army can lead a team with at least 1,000 or 10,000 subordinates. 5,000 taels of silver are offered on the moon, and 5,000 households are fed in the city. If you don't join the military, you can become a powerful force among the people, and countless merchants will rush to offer gold and silver as offerings. At this moment, even if Qin Che leaves Daishan, his safety and survival are at least worry-free. Suddenly, Qin Che thought of a question, which was that although his strength and inner strength had reached the level of a master. However, he did not have any means of attack. Grandmaster won't argue with you about strength. Qin Che was born with congenital deficiencies in his body, coupled with his own privileged lifestyle. So I haven't learned any martial arts skills. After racking his brains for a while, Qin Che finally came up with a martial arts skill. The finger-flicking technique. Tanji Shintong was a name changed by Qin Che himself, but Qin Che no longer remembers what his original name was. This was a trivial trick taken by the Bishop of Lizhou County back then. It is a special power technique that uses fingers to bounce stones and other objects out to attack people. Qin Che remembers that she begged Li Zhu to teach her. Recalling the power of flicking fingers, Qin Che comforted himself and said, although it seems useless now, it's always better than nothing. If you want martial arts skills at this time, you will definitely be doubted. Besides, I have potential, maybe I can collide with these useless martial arts skills and create a different spark. Picking up a stone from the ground, Qin Che sandwiched it between his middle finger and thumb. Recalling some of the techniques that Li Zhu taught herself. Whoosh! The stone was bounced out by Qin Che. Puff. After a moment, the stone collided with a tree 5 meters away from Qin Che. The stone collided directly into the thin trunk of the wine jar. Qin Che took a closer look and found that the stone had been completely embedded in the trunk of the tree, with a shape of 5 centimeters. If it were to hit someone, it would definitely be easy for a skilled martial artist to tear apart and refine their skin perfectly, Qin Che muttered to himself. A skilled horizontal martial arts practitioner who has successfully forged skin can already be considered a third-rate martial arts master. This person can serve as a captain in the government office and as a brigade commander in the army. For ordinary people, it can already be considered an invincible humanoid beast. However, just like this, Qin Che is obviously not satisfied. Name: Qin Che. Age: 1745 cultivation. Inner Zhuang Realm Level 5, 21%. Cultivation Method: 5 Elements Breathing Method Martial Arts. Finger Flicking Skill, Beginner Level 20%. Potential Point: 23 points. Taking a glance at his attribute panel, Qin Che indeed saw the emergence of martial arts, which proves that potential points can be used, but of course, there is no need to add points now. With Qin Che's current cultivation level, this simple martial arts skill should only take a short time to improve to mastery level. Returning to the original place, Qin Che picked up a stone again. Then I recalled the technique of exerting force again. In Qin Che's view, this process is essential, and popping it up casually will not have any effect on cultivation. And if Qin Che was very clear that if he relied on his golden finger and got up casually now, he wouldn't be far from death. In this world, there is not only oneself as a quasi-master and master. Although there are few masters, it is not without them. Moreover, Grandmaster is not the end. 7 or 8 stones popped out consecutively. Although the accuracy was a bit poor, it was basically random, but the power was not small. After the 9th stone bounced out, Qin Che clearly felt the progress of his finger flicking ability. Martial Arts. Finger Flicking Skill, Proficient at 5%. Pop out a stone again. Although its power has not significantly increased, its accuracy has increased significantly. The stone fell on the tree that Qin Che aimed at. Although there was a difference of about 2 meters between the top and bottom, it had made great progress. Additionally, in terms of movements, Qin Che became more proficient and less awkward. After popping out 20 stones this time, the power of the finger flick increased again. From proficient to proficient. After becoming proficient, the accuracy has improved again, and Qin Che can now hit wherever he wants, with an error of only about 5 centimeters. At the same time, the speed of flicking fingers has increased by 4 or 5 times compared to when I first started. In the same amount of time, Qin Che was able to complete at least 5 finger flicks. 5 consecutive attacks at one point can already burst open the thick tree in the wine jar. Martial Arts. Finger Flicking Skill, Proficient in 2%. After mastering, Qin Che's speed of further improvement significantly slowed down. But for Qin Che, it doesn't matter. Qin Che is not afraid of being slow, only afraid of not improving. Raising his proficiency to a level of 50, Qin Che also felt a bit tired. However, this kind of effort is not meaningless. In front of Qin Che, 8 tall trees as thick as wine jars have already broken here. Qin Che is not worried about being discovered. In this forbidden area, besides herself, she is Green E, and no one else can get close to her. After calming his restless mind for a moment, Qin Che walked down the mountain from the top of the mountain. As he descended the mountain, Qin Che began to plan his own time. Now Qin Che can have 5 hours a day to maintain his energy at its peak. Among them, Qin Che planned to use 4 hours to practice breathing techniques, and the remaining 1 hour was intended to be used for the technique of playing with fingers. Qin Che discovered that although the Pokémon is simple and easy to learn, it also has its benefits. The consumption of physical strength is very low. Although the power is slightly inferior, it can be compensated for by quantity and accuracy, making it a good martial arts skill. When Qin Che arrived at the foot of the mountain, he saw that Green E had already fallen asleep sitting on a stone. Qin Che walked up to Green E and awakened her. Upon hearing Qin Che's call, Lve was startled and quickly knelt down on the ground to apologize, saying, "My servant deserves to die, my servant deserves to die. Please forgive me, little prince. Get up, you don't have to follow me anymore," Qin Che said calmly. Upon hearing Qin Che's words, Lve was suddenly taken aback, then repeatedly kowtowed to Qin Che while pleading for mercy. "I mean, you don't have to come here with me anymore. You just need to arrange meals at the wooden house and wait for me to come back. I'll have to spend more time on it in the future, and I don't want to wait for dinner after I go back," Qin Che said helplessly. Although it has been a few months, Qin Che is still not accustomed to others kneeling down for him. However, Qin Che did not intend to change anything. The overall environment was like this, and if he changed himself, he would appear unique. Perhaps he would establish more enemies for himself, which is really unnecessary. Qin Che crossed over and did not intend to transform this world. At least for now, Qin Che has not had such a grand idea. Upon hearing Qin Che's words, Green E finally stopped. "Get up," Qin Che said to Green E. "Yes," Green E softly agreed, and then slowly stood up. Looking at Lve's fair forehead, which had already oozed blood, Qin Che said, "After you go back, go find some medicine to treat it yourself. I don't care what medicine you use. If I see you looking so embarrassed tomorrow, you don't have to serve me anymore." End of this chapter. Chapter 6. Gathering Qi Realm. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 6 Gathering Qi Realm. After listening to Qin Che's words, Lve let out a fearful and aggrieved The two of them returned to the wooden house one by one, and Green E went to help Qin Che prepare food. Qin Che silently felt the recovery of his internal strength. The next morning, Qin Che looked at Lve, who was already as clean as before, and went up the mountain alone. Watching Qin Che climb the mountain alone, Lve secretly breathed a sigh of relief. Then Green E began to prepare the meal. Returning to the mountaintop, Qin Che first infused the 5-colored earth, golden marrow, clear and micro-divine water, essence of Imu, and flame essence. 5 top-notch 5 elements items were placed around Qin Che's body, and he quickly settled down and entered the practice. Poor literature and rich martial arts. To quickly improve one's cultivation, a large investment is necessary. And Qin Che's biggest advantage is that he is very wealthy. Although Prince Yan's life and death are unknown now, the treasure trove he prepared for Qin Che in the Dadao mountain is definitely rich enough to make even the master feel murderous. As Qin Che entered a state of cultivation, 5 different colored gases accompanied Qin Che's breathing entered his body. 5 different colored gases enter their corresponding internal organs. The 5 elements Qi entered the 5 organs, and they immediately gave a warm response. At the same time, the skin, meat, bones, tendons, and membranes also strengthen with the calcination of the 5 organs. 3 hours passed quickly. Qin Che checked the progress and found that the progress had only increased by 2 percentage points, from 19% to 21%. The duration and efficiency of cultivation have increased more than 10 times than in the past, but the progress is the same as in the past. It's really difficult to complete the improvement of skill and body forging at the same time. Seeing this progress, Qin Che can't help complaining about it. Taking a glance at the 5 elements that had already been consumed all over his body, Qin Che couldn't imagine it. If someone does not have these top-level 5 element spiritual objects to assist in practicing the 5 elements breathing method, how slow would the speed be? It's very likely that there won't be much improvement until death. After completing the cultivation of the 5 elements breathing technique, Qin Che turned to the cultivation of the finger god technique. After entering mastery, the improvement slows down. But an hour later, Qin Che still successfully elevated the power of his fingers to climbing the peak. Raising the power of the finger to climbing the peak, the power of the finger has undergone another change. Firstly, it is natural to improve accuracy. Now Qin Che's accuracy can definitely be achieved without any difference. Even when facing high-speed moving objects, Qin Che is confident in hitting them wherever he points. Secondly, there is an improvement in speed. How to describe Qin Che's current speed? Qin Che's current speed is almost equivalent to a humanoid Maxim machine gun. In just 1 minute, Qin Che can grind the thick and thin trees of the wine jar on the mountaintop into powder. This is also due to the fact that the finger flicking technique is simple and consumes less energy. Finally, there is an improvement in power control. Now Qin Che can completely control the power of his divine powers at will. Even if Qin Che is willing, he can concentrate all his strength on one go. However, such strength is not something that a stone can bear. Qin Che also thought about this and could find some steel balls himself. The power of the steel ball combined with its own finger magic is definitely very impressive, and a mortar shell should be possible. As time passed by day, the incident of Prince Yan still did not spread to Daoshan. This is very consistent with Qin Che's speculation that it is impossible for the event to be transmitted within a few months. If there are any changes within the Great Dao Mountain, it is the poisonous but highly effective sleeping pills sent by Li Zhu that have not been delivered for almost 2 months. On this day, Qin Che arrived at the mountaintop alone. Arranged the remaining 5 elements spiritual items in the warehouse. During Qin Che's sitting, he then called out his attribute panel. Name: Qin Che, age 1745 cultivation. Inner Zhuang realm level 5, 99%. Cultivation method: 5 elements breathing method martial arts. Finger flicking skill, 99% peak climbing, potential point. 22 points. Looking at the attribute panel, Qin Che took a deep breath and added some attribute points to his cultivation. But after adding this time, the progress has not changed, it is still 99%. Seeing this situation, Qin Che couldn't help but wonder. Qin Che just added a little bit to the previous breakthroughs. There was no response this time. After calming his slightly flustered mood, Qin Che added a little more potential. This time there is still no change. Qin Che, who vaguely understood something, continued to add points. By the time it reaches 10 o'clock, the cultivation has reached 100% directly. As his cultivation reached 100%, Qin Che's body underwent a tremendous transformation from the inside out. Inside, all 5 internal organs emit dazzling light. A subtle respiratory resonance condenses within the 5 internal organs, as if something is about to happen. Skin, bone, flesh, tendons, and membranes are also undergoing significant changes. The skin has become increasingly tight and full of resilience. The meat beneath the skin has increased in density several times, and all the meat looks like steel. The tendons inside the flesh become full of elasticity, as if they can stretch infinitely, making it easier for the body to perform many unimaginable actions. The membrane thickens and also becomes much harder, which can provide better protection for the organs. Bones, on the other hand, exude a metallic luster, as if they have truly transformed into iron bones. The 5 elements spiritual objects around the body, under strong attraction, directly transformed into mist and entered the body, helping Qin Che complete the final sprint. The addition of spiritual elements in the 5 elements instantly shapes the storm brewing between the 5 organs and 6 internal organs. The storm swept through all parts of Qin Che's body, and all impurities in his body turned into black mist under the storm's sweep, flying away from all parts of his body. After impurity separation, all storms gathered at Dantian. The storm gathered at Dantian quickly quieted down and then existed in a gaseous form at Dantian. At the same time, with the operation of the breathing method, the same qi is generated between the 5 internal organs and then stored in the dantian. Hu. After finishing the promotion, Qin Che exhaled a long mouthful of turbid air. Opening his eyes, Qin Che's brilliance flashed away in a flash. Standing up, he glanced at the Qianjin stone lock next to him, and with a flick of his palm in the air, an invisible hand sucked the Qianjin stone lock over. With a casual swing, the stone lock was swung like a wind and fire wheel. Without any other moves, Qin Che can easily pass through 10,000 armies with this stone lock. Release the palm, another invisible hand, and firmly place the stone lock back in its original position. Then Qin Che used his finger as a pen and swiped through the air, dividing it in half. At the same time, a 1 centimeter deep groove was left on the 1,000-kilogram stone lock 2 meters away from Qin Che. Is this the sign of true qi in the realm of a master? Qin Che looked curiously at the sharp, colorless true energy lingering on his fingers, like a steel knife. With a thought, Qin Che's true qi turned into a gas with a light green glow, followed by yellow, gold, red, and blue. The 5 colors represent the attributes of the 5 elements. The 5 elements breathing technique is truly extraordinary. Qin Che couldn't help but feel the magic of the 5 elements breathing technique as he watched the scene before him. Name: Qin Che, age 1870th cultivation. Gathering Qi level 1, 5%. Cultivation method: 5 elements breathing method. Martial arts. Finger flicking skill, 99% peak climbing, potential point 37 points. Looking at his potential, Qin Che couldn't help but feel a bit dazed. Qin Che remembered clearly that he had just added 10 potential points to break through the Qi gathering realm. So potential points are not simply a 1:0.1 ratio to progress, he should be related to the potential needed to break through the realm of cultivation. I should have thought of this earlier, otherwise just write the attribute points directly. In fact, Qin Che is also very fortunate now that he did not waste his potential points. Otherwise, if his potential points were not enough, it might actually be troublesome. After taking a glance at the peak level pop-up magic on the attribute panel, Qin Che directly added 1 attribute point to him. As Qin Che thought, the simplest method of using the divine power of flicking fingers does not require any potential improvement, especially since the body's potential has already been greatly enhanced after entering the Qi gathering realm. Obtained a bit of potential with a flick of a finger, and directly reached the realm of transformation from climbing the peak. Transforming the realm is the highest level that all martial arts skills can theoretically achieve. At this level, martial arts have become like a natural talent flowing through one's veins, and can be used like flowing clouds and flowing water. Consume the least amount of energy and unleash the greatest power. Falling on the divine power of the fingers is enough to transform Qin Che into a humanoid gatling. There is no problem destroying a small piece of forest in front of us in minutes. Although he didn't practice for 4 hours today, he made 2 breakthroughs and completed the task. Qin Che turned around and prepared to go down the mountain. However, just as Qin Che was about to descend the mountain, he saw a figure rushing towards him at the foot of the mountain. End of this chapter. Chapter 7. Battle Master. Seeking collection and following reading. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 7. Battle Master. Seeking collection and following reading. The people rushing up from the foot of the mountain were wearing damaged armor, and on top of the armor, there were also many blood stains that had dried up and turned brown. Although wearing battle armor, the proud figure is still clearly visible. The facial features are exquisite and 3-dimensional, with a foreign beauty, but lacking in blood and vitality. The most eye-catching thing is a head of silver hair floating behind the head. Silver hair floats backwards as it runs, like a starry river. In the blink of an eye, the person rushed to the top of the mountain. Qin Che's fingers behind him slightly hooked, and under the suction of true qi, a steel ball was hidden on the mountaintop by Qin Che. It appeared between Qin Che's fingers, as long as the person on the other side was slightly abnormal. Qin Che will not hesitate to take action, no matter how beautiful the other party is, as long as the other party wants to kill him, Qin Che will not show mercy. Princess Li Zhu, who rushed up the mountain, looked at Qin Che standing opposite her and said in a guilty deep voice, "I'm sorry, I didn't protect my father and king well. Father and king are dead." Qin Che had imagined many scenes, but she really didn't expect that Li Zhu would apologize to herself first when she came up. "So, you're here to plan to send me to meet my father," Qin Che said coldly. Li Zhu didn't expect Qin Che to answer her like this, which made Li Zhu couldn't help but shudder. However, Li Zhu no longer intends to delve into these details, as they are meaningless for her. "When I first went up the mountain, I thought about killing you. I don't want you to be at their mercy after I die. Becoming puppets in those people's hands, becoming disposable garbage in their hands, but I have changed my mind now, I want to take you away. Go to a place where you can spend the rest of your life in peace. I will use my last time to protect you until I die, or you die. If you die first for me, you don't have to worry about me. Go far away and hide your name as an ordinary person. If you die first, I will die with you." Li Zhu's words once again stunned Qin Che. Because according to Li Zhu, it seems that everything she does is to protect herself, including poisoning herself. Although Li Zhu said so, Qin Che obviously wouldn't easily believe her words. Li Zhu poisoned herself first, which is a fact. Just as Qin Che was about to say something, his earlobe moved and he looked towards the direction of the foothills. Li Zhu's reaction was about 5 seconds slower than Qin Che's before turning to look at the foothills below. At the foot of the mountain, a strong wind almost came in an instant. After the figure stood still, an invisible oppression enveloped the entire mountaintop. The person wearing a loose long shirt looks around 40 years old. However, due to the fact that cultivators have a certain ability to stand still, the person facing them may actually be over 60 years old. There was no expression on his face, his entire head was bald, not only without hair, but also without an eyebrow. Trespassing into the Imperial Forbidden Area, death, the visitor looked at Li Zhu and said coldly. Li Zhu clearly knew the person who had come over. She protected Qin Che behind her and said firmly, "I'm taking him out of here today, and no one can stop me." The bald person across from him sneered, "You can't do it. Are you the Imperial Master guarding outside the Forbidden Area?" Qin Che suddenly asked. The bald master across from him showed no respect for the young Prince Qin Che and casually replied, "Yes." "Did you intentionally release Li Zhu on the Emperor's order, with the aim of leaving her body here and then imprisoning me here?" Qin Che continued to analyze. Upon hearing Qin Che's words, the bald master couldn't help but look at the useless little prince and said, "I didn't expect you to have some intelligence, and you're not a complete useless person." Qin Che readily admitted upon hearing his bald head and said, "It seems you are certain that she and I cannot leave this place so easily." Baldly looking at Li Zhu, he said, "She has already seriously injured her internal organs in order to protect Prince Yan. Being able to persist here is already a miracle. Do you think there can be a second miracle?" Qin Che looked at Li Zhu and roasted, "You are dying, and you still insist on killing me. How much you want me to die before you can do such a thing?" Li Zhu looked at Qin Che, her mouth open and she didn't know how to take over. "Alright, you two have already said what you should have said, and you have a clear understanding of the situation. Even if you die now, you can still be a clear ghost," Master Bald said to Qin Che and Li Zhu. Li Zhu listened to Master Bald's words and spread her posture horizontally in front of Qin Che, with a resolute expression. Obviously, she would not take a step back. "Make a bluff." The bald master let out a cold snort, rolled up his wide-sleeved robe, shook it, and an invisible true chi slashed towards Li Zhu. Li Zhu thrust the long spear in her hand forward with great force, and the moment the spear came into contact with the true chi, it shattered directly. The spear shattered it, but the true energy did not stop and continued to attack Li Zhu. Seeing Li Zhu unable to turn her head back, her eyes were filled with regret and nostalgia. Just as Li Zhu felt that she was bound to die, Qin Che suddenly took action and grabbed Li Zhu. Without waiting for any reaction from Li Zhu, he pulled Li Zhu and moved it horizontally for more than 5 meters. The true energy of the bald master fell into vein and collided with a 1,000-pound stone lock. True Qi rubbed against the stone lock, scraping away countless stone powder and leaving dozens of marks. If Qin Che didn't take action just now, Li Zhu is likely to be cut into dozens of pieces. Qin Che stood still, and for a moment, the scene was quiet with the sound of needles falling. Li Zhu looked at Qin Che incredulously, completely unaware that Qin Che had saved her at a critical moment and helped her avoid the attack of a master. Bald Grandmaster also did not expect that this useless Qin Che could evade his attack with Li Zhu. Grandmaster Bald looked at Qin Che standing in the distance, envious, jealous, and resentful, and said, "I didn't expect you really made some achievements in practicing the 5 elements breathing technique." Li Zhu also reacted at this moment and looked at Qin Che with surprise. "You have really practiced the 5 elements breathing technique." Qin Che said expressionlessly, "Thank you very much for the poison you gave me." After hearing Qin Che's words, Li Zhu's face changed and she quickly explained, "Listen to me, things are not like this, they are very complicated." Before Li Zhu could finish speaking, she felt her body lighten. The next moment, she had already moved horizontally with Qin Che once again. The attack of Master Bald once again failed. The splashing soil on the ground scraped against Li Zhu's face, instantly awakening her. "Run quickly, I'll hold him back. When you reach the completion of your cultivation, remember to avenge your father and me." Li Zhu said and pushed Qin Che, but she didn't push. The bald master looked at Qin Che and Li Zhu coldly and said, "No one can run today. I also want to see how powerful the divine 5 elements breathing technique is today. Don't be foolish, you don't even know the master's strength. You can't be his opponent, don't worry about me." Li Zhu tried hard to push Qin Che away. Qin Che frowned as she looked at Li Zhu and said, "You're really a bit noisy. Go ahead and stay quiet, don't affect me." After Qin Che finished speaking, he threw Li Zhu under a big tree about 50 meters away. Li Zhu's buttocks fell to the ground and made a popping sound. If Li Zhu is not injured, it will not have any impact on Li Zhu. But now Li Zhu's 5 organs and 6 viscera are seriously injured, so this fall almost made Li Zhu cry in pain. Seeing Qin Che throwing Li Zhu out, the bald master looked at Qin Che and said, "Are you planning to fight me to the end?" Qin Che shook his head and said, "I don't want to keep arguing with you, but I want to take her away. Will you let us go?" Master Bald shook his head and said, "It's impossible. She must die here, and you must stay here. I will make you disabled, but I will ensure that you are alive." Qin Che thought for a moment and said, "If I give you the 5 elements breathing technique and give you all the remaining resources, will you let us go?" The bald master shook his head for a moment, but in the end he still shook his head. "Who?" Qin Che let out a deep breath, and then his mind became incredibly firm. Since there is no way out, there is nothing to say. Just focus on facing the enemy. Qin Che took the lead in challenging, but the steel ball that had been held in his other hand was deflected by Qin Che's finger and shot straight into the air. Carving insect tricks. The bald master looked at Qin Che's popping steel ball with a sneer, completely indifferent. The bald master rolled up his sleeve robe, and the steel ball was caught by his sleeve robe. Then, with a flick of his sleeve, the steel ball rolled onto the ground. But before the master could react, the steel ball hit like a barrage of bullets. This is still the result of Qin Che controlling the speed. If Qin Che doesn't control it, the speed will only be more terrifying than this. The divine power of the bullet finger, which has reached the realm of transformation, has once again improved in accuracy, speed, and strength. Combined with steel balls, the power is absolutely amazing. The bald master looked at the steel ball in front of him, and his face finally changed. He could see that these steel balls were full of strength, just like the one he had just solved on his own. But 1 in 100 are completely different properties. Li Zhu, who was thrown to the side, looked at the steel ball curtain formed by Qin Che bending her fingers and popping out, her face also full of surprise. Li Zhu recognized the martial arts technique used by Qin Che, which was the only one she had taught Qin Che before. But Li Zhu remembers that this martial arts technique is the least mainstream. When did this kind of non-mainstream martial arts have such tremendous power? Not to mention anything else, the steel ball curtain that Qin Che is currently creating can instantly kill hundreds of enemies if used during a battle between the two armies, making it an absolute deadly weapon. The bald master looked at the steel ball in front of him and threw his sleeves wildly, forming a shield of true energy in front of him. This combat technique is indeed not mainstream, but he doesn't know how it turned out like this. He was also capable of this casual trick, but how did it end up in Qin Che's hands? Bang! 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 The steel ball smashed onto the wall of true Qi, making a sound like a bullet hitting the wall. Although these steel balls can easily penetrate trees, they cannot easily penetrate true Qi that is several times harder than trees. However, although it could not penetrate, it still shook the wall of true Qi. This kind of vibration transmitted in, making the bald master also very uncomfortable. This is not a one-time impact, it is a continuous impact. Although not enough to die immediately, it made me tremble all over. Make yourself very uncomfortable all over. He tried several breakouts, but ultimately failed because Qin Che's steel ball attack was too sticky, making him unable to move at all. Damn it! Bald Grandmaster, my own Grandmaster, surprisingly was held back by such a small trick. All he can do now is wait for Qin Che's strength to run out, or wait for the steel ball in Qin Che's hand to run out. However, Master Bald clearly has some waiting. Qin Che practiced the 5 elements breathing technique, which emphasizes a cycle of mutual growth and a continuous breath. As for the steel balls, Qin Che prepared a lot, some hidden on the mountaintop and some hidden in the wooden house where he slept. Qin Che is now attacking while using his true energy to suck up the steel balls he has hidden underground. It's just that Qin Che's movements are covert, and neither the bald master nor Li Zhu saw it. Click. Click. Under Qin Che's continuous attacks, the true Qi wall of the bald master made an unbearable click sound. Looking at the cracks on the Qi wall, the bald master knew he couldn't continue dragging. This Qin Che is really strange. Even if you pay any price for it, you must immediately solve Qin Che. End of this chapter. Chapter 8. The Power of the Transforming Realm Finger God Technique. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 8. The Power of the Transforming Realm Finger God Technique. Even though the decision has been made, Master Bald no longer hesitates. Converge the wall of true Qi in front of you to the surface of your body, transforming it into a true Qi membrane similar to skin. Upon completing this action, Master Bald exerted his strength on both feet, charging towards Qin Che like a fierce tiger descending the mountain. Facing the bald master rushing towards him, Qin Che suddenly exerted force on his fingers. The steel ball in my hand was compressed a whole circle as soon as it left my finger. The steel ball rubs against the air, causing it to instantly turn red. All that one wants to accomplish can only be done at lightning speed. As Qin Che watched the bald master charge towards him, he also realized that his opportunity had arrived and immediately stopped holding back, directly exerting all his strength to take action. Master Bald has already considered paying some price. So when faced with the impact of the steel ball, he only avoided his vital parts. At the same time, gather the muscles in the area where the steel ball is about to come into contact with your body to reduce some damage. However, when it came to actual contact, the direction of the situation completely exceeded Master Bald's expectations. The steel ball penetrated almost unobstructed, revealing its true energy on the surface of the body. At the same time, he easily tore through his skin, which was hard to break with his knife and gun, as well as his muscles that were as hard as steel. The huge inertia contained within the steel ball carried the bald master who had originally rushed towards Qin Che back. Dong! The bald master fell heavily to the ground, and the place where the steel ball pierced through was due to the impact force, which opened a wound the size of a bowl. The wound was shrouded in blood and flesh, deep enough to be bone, and the exposed bones were clearly broken by steel balls. Steel balls, on the other hand, are embedded in the ribs of the back due to loss of power. If you look carefully, the round steel ball has turned into a cake due to external force. The bald master looked incredulously at the wound on his body, then looked at the so-called waste in his eyes already filled with fear. He only realized now that Qin Che, a useless person, had grown into a master. The strength just now is definitely a skill that can only be exerted by master-level experts. I never realized that I was fighting a master-level expert. It seems too late to discover all of this now. A master of the same level fought and suffered such a serious injury. There is no doubt that he will die next. At the thought of this, Master Bald lost his confidence in continuing the battle and planned to leave this place. Bringing this news back to the royal family would still be a great achievement. Kill him quickly, he wants to run. Li Zhu, who saw the bald master's escape intention, quickly reminded Qin Che loudly. Just as Li Zhu spoke out, the bald master had already set off and ran wildly towards the foot of the mountain. At the same time, concentrate all the true qi in the body on the back to protect the 5 organs and the back of the brain, these key areas. Although he didn't see that Qin Che was a master's cultivation, he didn't gain anything from the long battle. Firstly, the steel balls ejected by Qin Che are difficult to break through the thick true qi shield due to their quality. Secondly, Qin Che, the great master, has no practical combat experience, and there are no other means of attack besides this divine power of the bullet finger. Thirdly, Qin Che does not have a powerful body technique and is unable to catch up with him. So as long as you resist a few attacks, you can completely escape from life. Seeing that the bald master had already turned over and fled, Li Zhu knew she couldn't catch up. She has started designing how to quickly take Qin Che out of here and where the two of them will go after leaving. Before Li Zhu could design these things properly, she heard a piercing sound. Although the sound appeared, the steel ball did not appear. Puff. After a muffled sound, I saw the true qi shield in the heart of the bald master, which was pierced through a hole. At the same time, blood bloomed on his back, followed by a seductive mix of blood from his heart, piercing through the chest of the bald master. The bald master's body rushed forward a few steps, stood still, and then fell directly to the ground. A large area of blood quickly seeped out from the chest area. This is clearly a blood stain gushing out from the heart. However, Qin Che did not immediately step forward to check, but instead added a few steel balls to his brain and other organs. After confirming that the bald master was completely dead, he relaxed his guard. Li Zhu stood up and walked over, looking at the bald master who had been smashed and his brain had cracked. She turned her head to look at Qin Che. I'm not a pervert, this is the master. Who knows if the master's heart will explode and he will die immediately, Qin Che explained to himself. Li Zhu listened to Qin Che's words and smiled contentedly. I can rest assured of you like this. Before she could finish speaking, Li Zhu collapsed to the ground. Feeling the increasingly weak aura of Li Zhu, Qin Che hesitated for a moment before transferring his true qi of the 5 elements to Li Zhu's severely damaged internal organs. The 5 elements true qi has an unimaginable healing ability for the 5 organs. Even Qin Che, who is inherently deficient, can be cured, let alone Li Zhu, who is only severely injured. After delivering a certain amount of 5 elements true qi, it was confirmed that Li Zhu's 5 organs had reached a balance point and would not continue to deteriorate, so Qin Che stopped. After a cup of tea, Li Zhu woke up quietly. Struggling to support herself from the ground, Li Zhu looked at Qin Che and said, "You saved me." The obvious thing, Qin Che responded calmly. Until many issues are thoroughly explained, Qin Che cannot fully trust Li Zhu. "I mean, my injury is so severe, how could you possibly have saved me?" Li Zhu rephrased the question more clearly. Seeing that Qin Che had no intention of answering her question, Li Zhu said, "I know you still have misunderstandings about me. I can explain these things to you now." Qin Che nodded and said, "Okay." Next, Li Zhu explained everything to Qin Che. The whole thing is not complicated. According to Li Zhu, the reason why Qin Che was raised in the capital from a young age is not only because of Qin Che's recovery from illness, but also because Qin Che stayed in the capital as a proton. Prince Yan guarded the border and held a heavy army, making it easy to rebel. Leaving protons is a common practice. Although it is a bit dangerous to have a proton like Qin Che, who is inherently deficient and may not survive for too long. But Prince Yan only has such a son, so he can only leave Qin Che in the capital. As for Li Zhu poisoning Qin Che, it involves court disputes. Simply put, some people have found Li Zhu and hope that she will join them, causing the Zhou to fall apart. Li Zhu, on the other hand, is trying to gain more insight and is being insincere. And during this process, they gave Li Zhu 2 choices. One of them was to poison Qin Che, causing him to die unexpectedly, leading to the disintegration of Prince Yan and the court. Another is to secretly take action against Prince Yan and find a way to eliminate him. As for Li Zhu's choice, Qin Che already knows. "Although I have poisoned you, that kind of poison is one that I personally prepared. For ordinary people, that kind of poison is completely harmless. For those with cultivation, that kind of poison will become a chronic poison. Even if they check, they won't find any problems. At that time, no one believed that you could cultivate your cultivation, so that kind of poison was harmless to you. Even if you have cultivation, it doesn't matter, because I also give spices with antidotes every 2 months. If you first discover toxicity, as long as you don't come into contact with it again, it will naturally be okay in 2 or 3 days. Those 2 choices, I can only choose to protect my father. If my father really has an accident, even if I risk my life, it will be difficult for me to protect you. Only when father is alive can you live better." After Li Zhu finished speaking, she took a deep breath and said with a relieved expression, "This is all about it. If you still don't believe it, you can kill me now." "Does father know about these things?" Qin Che asked Li Zhu. Li Zhu shook her head and said, "Father doesn't know. If father knew, he wouldn't agree. Even if that poison is harmless to you. Why don't you tell father about this?" Qin Che continued to ask. Li Zhu replied, "Because the other party's power is huge and mysterious, it was the Minister of War who approached me at that time. And they use you as a threat, they have the ability to directly kill you. If I tell my father, we can only get your body when we go back." Qin Che listened to Li Zhu's words and didn't continue to dwell on the issue. Instead, he said, "Are you really sure that kind of poison is harmless to ordinary people?" Li Zhu nodded confidently and said, "I'm very certain because I personally mixed that poison, and I still have some here." Li Zhu took out a cloth bag from her pocket, which was exactly the kind of spice Qin Che used. Qin Che took the spices and sniffed them carefully, realizing that the aroma was indeed familiar to him. But the poison inside has very subtle differences. "I have also kept some here, please see if it's the same." Li Zhu took the spice given by Qin Che and just smelled it, her face changed greatly. There is an additional medicine inside, which has become toxic to ordinary people. After speaking, Li Zhu explained with a pale face, "This is the spice I gave you, but I didn't add this extra medicine. Qin Che interrupted Li Zhu's words and said, "You don't need to explain these to me. You can investigate and solve the problem yourself. Then help me find the person who killed Father Wang, and we will be considered as two separate parties." End of this chapter. Chapter 9. Teach Martial Arts. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 9. Teach Martial Arts. Qin Che is not interested in being a detective, let alone participating in power struggles. Qin Che is only interested in longevity and invincibility. Originally, Qin Che thought that Li Zhu had poisoned her, and Prince Yan also knew about it. If that's the case, Qin Che can save the thought of avenging Prince Yan and repaying his kindness. Now that Prince Yan doesn't know about this, Qin Che still needs to avenge Prince Yan himself. After avenging Prince Yan, Qin Che no longer had any worries. Although Qin Che can add some points, there is no need to worry about level matters. But with this not in mind, although it doesn't affect the cultivation progress, it can still be resolved in the end. Li Zhu was completely unaware of Qin Che's calculations, but upon hearing the words, "too clear," the light in her eyes instantly dimmed. Quickly, Li Zhu's eyes lit up again and she said to Qin Che, "I will seek revenge from my father. I will not let go of anyone who has hurt my father, hurt you." Qin Che looked at Li Zhu with a firm expression on her face, frowned, and finally said, "If you encounter someone who is invincible, you can ask me to help you." Li Zhu nodded and said happily, "If father knows that you are already a master, he will definitely be very happy." Qin Che glanced at Li Zhu and said, "If I can become a master, I still want to thank you for your poison." Qin Che poked her in pain again, and Li Zhu's face darkened. Li Zhu silently swore that she would investigate this matter thoroughly and give Qin Che an explanation to clear her own name. Successfully diverting the topic of family affection, Qin Che walked over and kicked the body of the bald master directly under the cliff. On the mountaintop where Qin Che practiced, on one side was the foothills where he could walk up and down, and on the other side was the endless cliff. It is the best choice to destroy the body and trace it. Apart from the body, Qin Che dug up and threw down the soil stained with blood. "I will continue to practice here in the future, so I still need to keep it clean." After completing all of this, Qin Che said to Li Zhu, "Let's go down the mountain. There are many medicinal herbs in the downhill warehouse. You can mix them yourself if you need anything." Qin Che walked ahead, and Li Zhu followed behind. After walking for a while, Li Zhu, who was following behind, took the initiative to ask, "When did you learn the 5 elements breathing method?" "I don't want to tell you too much about these things until you have figured out the truth." Qin Che didn't look back and spoke very frankly. Upon hearing such words from behind, Li Zhu couldn't help but feel discouraged, and at the same time, she became even more ruthless. She must investigate these things as quickly as possible. In fact, Qin Che's reason for saying this is simply to find a reason to refuse to answer the question. For example, if Li Zhu asks a question, once Qin Che arranges a time, Li Zhu may continue to ask. It's best not to say because there are many mistakes. "How did your Lingxi finger reach this level of cultivation?" After walking for a while, Li Zhu took the initiative to ask again. Qin Che could still answer, "I only know the martial arts skills you taught me. Practicing them every day has turned me into what I am now." Upon hearing Qin Che's words, Li Zhu couldn't help but feel a slight warmth in her heart. Then she immediately said, "If I had known that, I should have taught you more martial arts skills." Qin Che's heart twitched slightly and he said, "It's not too late now." After today's battle, Qin Che found himself far inferior to his true master. The main reason for winning today's battle is that the bald master always underestimated himself. If Qin Che had used all his strength and employed various means from the beginning, he would never have won so easily. Martial arts is the biggest gap between the two. "Can I still teach you martial arts?" Li Zhu asked in surprise. "It's unlikely that martial arts skills will be poisoned," Qin Che continued without looking back. Upon hearing these words, Li Zhu's joyful mood was instantly extinguished. Li Zhu clenched her fist, her eyes burning with anger. She must investigate everything and then avenge Qin Che and Prince Yan, seeking justice for herself. I just saw your lynxy finger. If you were to use true qi directly, he would have died long ago. After a while, Li Zhu continued to take the initiative to find a topic to talk to Qin Che. Qin Che stood down and turned to look at Li Zhu, saying, I don't have any experience against enemies, so it's impossible for me to expose all my cards just by coming up. After answering Li Zhu's question, Qin Che continued, do you have the ability to talk? Why not think carefully about how to figure out the whole story? Or you can think about how you will explain when you see Greenie later. Alternatively, you can think about how to regulate your injuries. As for my cultivation and strength, I hope to know as few people as possible. After Qin Che finished speaking, he turned his head and continued walking down. This time, Li Zhu was quiet and silently followed behind Qin Che. Quickly, the two of them returned to the wooden house at the foot of the mountain. Lve was extremely surprised when she saw Princess Li Zhu. Qin Che did not explain anything to Greenie, and Princess Li Zhu simply said lightly, Father asked me to accompany Qin Che for a period of time. An explanation from Li Zhu is enough. As for whether Greenie believes it or not, Li Zhu doesn't need to consider it. And Li Zhu believes that Lve is a smart person, she understands what she should do. The meal is ready, little prince and princess. Please have your meal, and I will go and tidy up the next room for princess. Greenie said softly. Go ahead, Qin Che waved his hand and asked Greenie to tidy up the room. There's no need to check her, she's not a problem, Qin Che said to Li Zhu, whose gaze followed Greenie away. Qin Che naturally had to observe the only person around him. After such a long observation, Qin Che can certainly confirm that Greenie is not a problem. Princess Li Zhu listened to Qin Che's words and withdrew her gaze from looking at Greenie. Gollum. A belly scream betrayed Princess Li Zhu's current physical condition. Running day and night all the way, coupled with serious injuries, even the master's body would still know he was hungry. Let's eat, Qin Che sat down first and said to Li Zhu. After the two of them had a meal, Li Zhu's condition improved significantly. Do you have any simple and easy-to-learn body techniques that you can teach me? Qin Che asked Li Zhu after dinner. Upon hearing Qin Che take the initiative to speak to her, Li Zhu immediately replied, I have top-notch body techniques here. Qin Che interrupted Li Zhu's words and said, top tier is not necessary. I will spend more time practicing the 5 elements breathing technique now, as long as there are simple and useful ones. Qin Che's choice was thoughtful. The top-level martial arts skills, the more time it takes to improve. If you want to upgrade, you will also need more potential points. Simple martial arts may not be very powerful, but they can be upgraded quickly. Once upgraded to a certain level, it can also turn decay into magic. For example, in Qin Che's hands, the skill of flicking fingers is no longer a means for children to play house, but a martial arts skill that can kill masters. Li Zhu listened to Qin Che's words and then associated it with Qin Che's spiritual rhinoceros finger. However, she did not continue to demand it, but thought for a moment and said, I can teach you fast wind step, which is a very easy to learn and master body technique with strong practicality and great potential. End of this chapter. Chapter 10. Wanted Criminal. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 10 Wanted Criminal. The rapid wind step is indeed, as Li Zhu said, very easy to master. Li Zhu only demonstrated once, and Qin Che had already mastered it. This is so easy because the wind step is a pure speed body technique, without any fancy changes in footsteps. This is simple and straightforward, which is very in line with Qin Che's needs. After teaching Qin Che the fast wind step, Qin Che also took Li Zhu to the warehouse. The medicinal herbs are all inside, just take what you need yourself, Qin Che said to Li Zhu. After explaining to Qin Che, he returned to the wooden house. Li Zhu did not return to the wooden house to rest all night. The next morning, Qin Che had breakfast and went back up the mountain to practice. When passing by the warehouse, Qin Che glanced at Li Zhu sitting in the open warehouse, closing her eyes to regulate her breath. Qin Che didn't stop long before going up the mountain. After reaching the mountaintop, Qin Che immediately began practicing the 5 elements breathing technique. After practicing the 5 elements breathing method for 3 hours, the true qi in the dantian area increased slightly, but the progress on the panel remained at 5%. This result did not exceed Qin Che's expectations. The path of cultivation is already becoming increasingly difficult. The qi gathering state is vastly different from the previous internal strength, and it is not surprising that the progress is slow. Qin Che is not in a hurry about the slow progress. Anyway, Shouyuan is no longer a problem now, so we can take it slow. After completing the practice of the 5 elements breathing technique, Qin Che continued to practice the finger-reaching technique for an hour. After 1 hour of cultivation, the spiritual power of the transformation realm increased by 1 percentage point, from 9% to 10%. Although it is only a 1 percentage point increase, the power has increased significantly. The increase in the amount of true qi within a blink of an eye, even if it is only a slight increase, has a very significant effect on the damage effect. For example, now, with just a flick of his finger, Qin Che can directly crush the trunk of the thick and thin tree in the wine jar on the mountaintop into powder. After finishing his practice of using the divine finger technique, Qin Che turned to practicing the fast wind step. According to Li Zhu's demonstration, Qin Che only practiced twice before fully mastering it. With the cultivation of Master Qin Che, under the swift steps of the wind, it is truly as swift as the wind. Wherever Qin Che passed, dust was flying like a sandstorm. Qin Che's speed now is more than twice as fast as when he didn't learn the fast wind step. Now Qin Che only needs about 5 seconds to run 100 meters. As time passed by, Qin Che's speed became faster and faster. Quickly, Qin Che's speed was so fast that in the eyes of ordinary people, it was just a white shadow. The smoke and dust in the area where Qin Che passed were getting smaller and smaller. Later on, Qin Che seemed to be really flying on the wind, and when he started running, there was no dust on the ground anymore. In the blink of an eye, Qin Che ran to a big tree and leaped directly to a height equivalent to 10 meters of the tree crown. Later, Qin Che took a brisk step and used the tree crown as a leverage to run directly above the forest for about 300 meters. Falling from the crown of the tree, Qin Che glanced at the progress of the wind step and directly reached mastery, 60%. The speed of this cultivation is much faster than when I used to use the divine finger technique, Qin Che murmured in self-evaluation. Although the speed has increased now, it can only maintain top speed on a straight line. If you turn, the speed will decrease. When reaching the peak, the turning should also be very pleasant. If it's a transformation, what changes will there be? Qin Che was really curious about the extremely simple body technique of the wind step, and how it would change if it reached the realm of transformation. After finishing his cultivation, Qin Che descended from the mountaintop. When passing by the warehouse, it was found that Li Zhu was still sitting there recovering from her injury. After a day of recovery, her complexion has noticeably improved compared to yesterday. Returning to his wooden cabin, Qin Che saw Green E anxiously walking back and forth in the yard. "What's wrong?" Qin Che asked as he looked at Green E's uneasy expression. Upon hearing Qin Che's voice, Lue immediately ran over and said, "Little prince, when I went to pick up the vegetables brought in from outside today, I heard something. Please make a decision." "What's going on?" Qin Che asked casually. Lve glanced at the direction of the warehouse and whispered, "Little prince, Captain Li, who is responsible for delivering vegetables to us, said that Princess Li Zhu has defected to the enemy and even killed Prince Yen. The court is now looking for Princess Li Zhu." Qin Che asked calmly, "What did you say?" "I didn't say anything, just wait for the young prince to come back and make a decision on this matter," replied Green Yi. Qin Che nodded and then said to Green Yi, "Do you believe that Li Zhu will join the enemy and kill my father?" Lve hesitated for a moment, but finally shook her head vigorously. "Why?" Qin Che asked with great interest. Lve replied, "If Princess Li Zhu really has a problem, the young prince will not take Princess Li Zhu in. Isn't it because you believe in her?" Qin Che asked in reverse. Upon hearing Qin Che's rhetorical question, Lve quickly knelt down and said, "I believe that Princess Li Zhu will not betray me, but I am the servant of the young prince, and everything should be based on his will." Qin Che looked at the trembling Green Yi and said, "Get up, you're right. I really don't believe she betrayed my father. As for the situation, she will investigate the truth and come back to tell me. Just listen to what people outside say." Green Yi lowered her head and responded with a promise. "In the future, make an extra portion for cooking and send one to Li Zhu," Qin Che continued to command Green Yi. Li Zhu responded once again. "Go and bring her food, and also tell her about her wanted by the court." After Li Zhu left, Qin Che ate while thinking about what might happen next. Qin Che is not interested in power struggles and solving cases, but when it comes to what may happen around him, Qin Che still needs to think about it. The first thing Qin Che can confirm now is that the emperor probably doesn't know about the death of the bald headmaster. After all, everyone knows that Li Zhu is seriously injured and dying, and she is also a useless person. So no one would have thought that the bald master had already died. Therefore, I am currently very safe here. As for how long it will be safe, it's hard to estimate Qin Che. Because Qin Che was also unclear about how long it would take for the bald master to report the situation of Dao Mountain to the emperor. If it's only reported once every few months or even years. During this period, Qin Che was safe. On the contrary, if one needs to report once a month, then when the emperor discovers that the bald master is missing, his own side may not be so safe. Perhaps the emperor would not suspect that he killed the bald master himself, but he would definitely suspect that it was Li Zhu. It may not be possible to use oneself to blackmail Li Zhu and force her to appear. If someone really comes, I should be able to easily run far away. Dao Shan is a quiet and undisturbed place for meditation. Qin Che really doesn't want to leave, but if things change, Qin Che will leave cleanly and won't drag things along. End of this chapter.